So I was talking to a French person. He was just about Trump because they asked me that. I was giving them the Black American viewpoint. They don't know too much, so it's just a history lesson. Um, we have to combat years of smear campaign. So I was just telling them for the Black American viewpoint, we've always fought for equality. We've always fought for justice. Me being in France, I have a lot in common with French people because it's in our blood and heritage to not let governments affect us and to actually fight for equality for all, not just for the privileged few. We believe fundamentally in humanity. And so I was going on and I was telling about white supremacy, and a lot of people voted for Trump because of white supremacy. Even if they're poor, uneducated, and white, they still think within the power structure they've been giving a little bit of privilege. And I was like, right now, black people said, we're not going to fight for you. You haven't done the work. You need to learn how to fight and stand up to white supremacy in this government, because that's really what they're standing up to. Stop going along just to go along. Stop saying it's okay as long as I'm not black. You're the targets now. And I was explaining how like white supremacy is actually rearing its head with the Trump administration. And he was like, do you think they'll ever all get on accord? And my answer to like, will they ever start seeing that we're all one and that we should all be in the same place, and that instead of like we're all different, so it doesn't affect me, so I don't have to do anything. And my answer was, honestly, Trump is teaching them more about white supremacy than we ever could have. So I think Trump's going to teach them how wrong white supremacy is. When he cut off Medicaid, when he cut off Medicare to the poorest people, those are mostly white people affected. They're the majority on it. They're the ones who are understanding that if you're not rich and white, you don't matter. The white women who supported white supremacy and patriarchy systematically are getting rolled out of their jobs, and they are also systematically being told that they have to have kids, forced birthing, and they're systematically, and they were just told that the degrees that they went into are no longer professional, which will limit their access to education and whatnot. And so in so many different ways, like white supremacy is telling them, well, white men are going to hold the power, not you. So before white supremacy, well, we're just going to target black people. And they saw it, they just didn't do anything or cared to do anything because it didn't affect them. Now it's affecting them. And my answer generally was, they're going to learn after Trump because he's letting them know they're not white supreme enough. Isn't that crazy? I didn't vote for him. But he is giving them the biggest lesson on how wrong white supremacy is. And I love that for them, because when it was affecting us, they just didn't care. But now that their elders are getting kicked out, and not only that, they're telling them they have to take care of their elders. So they're making laws that if your elders on the street, you have to take care of them. So they're kicking women out of jobs, telling them to have to force birth. If you're not rich, they're like, I don't care. You're not going to get access to any of this or run anything. Rich whites only. So it's just white supremacy, but it's the next level of white supremacy. And the thing is, because they never stood with Black American community, that's how they got to the next level, because they allowed it to happen to us. Now it's turning on them. But isn't that crazy? My answer is like, Trump is teaching them more about white supremacy than I ever could. And honestly, he just needs to do it more until they finally understand you fight for everyone, or you're going to fall eventually too.